Hey, good morning. Welcome to Just Daf It, part of the Greater Yeshiva YouTube. Today we're doing Nedarim Daf Pei Zayin, the last Friday shir in Maseches Nedarim. Start from the bottom, Pei Bama Beis. We had a Mishnah yesterday that basically says, a man he is made for a nether. He thought it was his wife who took the nether. It turns out it was his daughter. So, or vice versa. It's not effective. So the Gemara comments, the Memra the Yani Osa Dafkahu. Says the pasuk Yani, he has to revoke the nether. Osa, for her Dafkahu. It has to be specifically he knows who he's doing it for. Is this really true? The top of Pei Zion Amud Beis. V'hagabe Kroim. There's a mitzvah when one of the Zion Krovim die, right? Your parents, your siblings, your children, your wife. Dichsiv, when you're supposed to rip your clothing when they die. Dichsiv al, right? Dichsiv al Shalval, Yonasan ben David, when he ripped Kriya, he ripped Anshul, who was his father, and Yonasan, who was his brother-in-law. But no, his son, Metanya, it says al specifically, right? It means specifically for them. And Tanya, the Bryce says, Amulo Mesa Aviv Akara. If they told him your father died and he ripped his garments, and it turned out really his son had died. Yatzei de Kriya. He's Yotze, even though he ripped for the wrong person. So how does that align with our Mishnah? Amri Lokash, Habastam, Bahamim Farish. It depends if they told him, right? Our Mishnah is talking about where they told him, right, your daughter, your wife took a nether, and he thinks it's his wife, so he's made it for his wife, turns out his daughter. If they didn't tell him, he just thinks it's his wife, so it works for his daughter. As the Bible says, Tanya, Amalo Meis Aviv Vikara. He told him your father specifically died, and he ripped his garments. Them said, but no, it turned out his son had died, not his father. They'll say they kriya. He wasn't Yotzei, his kriya. Amrulo. However, they said Mace Mace, one of your Zion Krom died. Because he thought his father was aging. His father died, Bakara, and he ripped his garments. And it turned out it was his son. Yotzi de kriya. So you see your Yotzi your kriya if you didn't know, because technically you probably had anyone in mind. Ravashi gives a different answer. Doesn't matter whether they told you or not told you. It depends whether he found out about the right person within Kadei Dibur or Tok Kadei Dibur, which is about 3 seconds. The Gemara in Baba Kama says Tok Kadei Dibur is the time you'd say Shalom Alecha Rebbe Umori, according to some opinions. Shalom Alecha Rebbe. About 3 seconds, 3 words. So you have that amount of time in order to retract something that you do or to fix something that you do. So Rashi says Kama Tok Kadei Dibur, Kama Acher Kadei Dibur. They told him it's his father. Even if they told him it's his father, he finds out within 3 seconds that it was his son after he ripped his beged already. That's okay. Not Yosef's career, that's after he finds out afterwards. A Bryce to support this. He has someone in his house that's very sick. It's on a deathbed. In the Salif. And they faint. He thought they actually died. Vakara. He ripped his garment. He thought they died. And then he died. He wasn't Yotzi's kriya. His kriya has to be done after he died, right? Not before. It's only talking about he did a kriya. And then Toki Dibur passed, 3 seconds passed, and then the person died. If he died within 3 seconds of the kriya, even though the kriya preceded the death, it's okay. Really, normally for all lachas in the Torah, when you're making a decision, when you're making a proclamation, when you're making a deal, you have the ability to retract that for 3 seconds. Except for 4 cases. When you curse Hashem, once you curse Hashem, you can't take it back. If you say that this thing is you're worshiping a god, you can't take that back. A foreign god. Also, when you do Kiddush and Gerushin, I give a woman a ring, I say even though immediately I say I don't want the Kiddush and take effect, it doesn't matter. Same thing with Gerushin. You gave a get, you can't retract that, even Tok Dibur. I'll discuss why these things are different in Iyun with Ben Sion, and also explain the Gemara about Kriya and also Nedarim based on the concept of Tok Dibur. Kedibur Dami. The Mishnah says, Amra Kodam Teinim Manavim Elu Shani Toemes. A woman says, I'm not going to eat figs and grapes. Kiyam L'Teinim. The husband or the father heard about this. And he said, he affirms the Ta'anim. The Ta'anim, I want her not to eat. Kulo Kiyim, the entire neder is Makuyim, including the grapes. Hefer Ta'anim. However, if he heard the entire neder and he's made for solely for the Ta'anim, for the figs, Eno Mufrash Yafar Afla Navim, it's not even effective for the Ta'anim. It's one joint package. Amr Konam Ta'ina Shani Taimes. Another Shitaimes. She splits it into two. She says, I'm not going to taste a fig. I'm not going to taste a grape. She says Taimes twice. By saying the word Taimes, she splits them into Nadarim. And therefore, if he's Befer for one, half of it is Mufar. If he's making the one, half of it is Mukuyim. So the Gemara says, Mani Bastis, and who's the opinion of our Mishnah? Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Yishmael the Sani. We found in a Brayta. Isha Yikimen of Isha Yifrana. The Pasuk compares the Hakama to the Afara. Amra Konam Te'inim Ve'inavim Elush and Taimes. If she were to say, like our Mishnah, the exact case in our Mishnah, I'm not tasting figs or grapes. Kiyam Te'inim Kulo Kiyam. Like our Mishnah says, if he's Mekayim half of it, the entire nether is Mekuyim. Right? Heifel Te'inim on top of Pei Zayam is Heifel Te'inim in a Mufrash Yafar Afla Navim. If he's Mefer, then Te'inim. So it's not even effective halfway. He has to do both together. Did Rabbi Yishmael. That's Rabbi Yishmael says. We'll see in a second where he learns this from the pasuk. Rav Omer Harei Hu Omer Isha Yikimenu Isha Verena compares the two. Ma Yikimenu Mimenu, right? Yikimenu, right? Yikim Mimenu. It sounds like it's a portmanteau of two words, right? Yiki Hakama and Mimenu, right? Just like Hakama, even part of it is valid for the whole thing. Av Yirenu Mimenu. Just like Afaro, if he's made for the Tainim, it works for the Navim also. Rabbi Shmuel. What is Rabbi Shmuel going to respond to Rabbi Akiva? Miksiv Yafer Mimenu. It doesn't explicitly say Yafer Mimenu, right? It says Yikimenu, right? Yikimenu could mean Yakim Mimenu, or also could mean Yikimenu, Makayim the Neder. Yifirenu, right? She would have to say clearly Yafer Mimenu, right? The Yikimenu has a mem, right? Yafer doesn't have a mem. Rabbi Akiva, Makish Afar La'akama. Rabbi Akiva, no, he was learning a juxtaposition. Ma'akama menu, just like Hakama, it has a mem. So even partial Hakama works for the whole thing. Afar menu. Hafar also, if he's made for half of it, so the whole thing is Mufar. Amar Rabbi Chiva, Amar Yochanan, Zu Divrei Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva. The aforementioned Brayso quotes two opinions, Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva. But there's a third opinion. There is a comparison to Hakama Afara. Ma'afara. A third opinion, if he is Mayfair, right? He takes an neder for Ta'anim and Anavim. He's made for the Ta'anim, so it works for the Ta'anim, not for the Navim. Just like Kamal also, he's making the Ta'anim. It only works for the Ta'anim, but he's not. It doesn't constitute a Hakama for the Anavim. Each one are treated separate. Amra Konim Ta'ana. Amra Rabbi Mastisin, Rabbi Shimon. Our Mishnah follows the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. The Amra Shiyom Shvuah Kol Echad Ve'echad. Right, the Mishnah distinguishes that if she says, I'm not going to taste Ta'anim Anavim, it's considered one neder. Ta'anim and Anavim are together. However, only when she says Ta'ina Nito Emes and then Anavim Nito Emes, she splits it with the word two Ta'imas, then it constitutes two Nadarim, which is the same opinion as Rabbi Shimon in Masechah Shavuos, where he says that normally if a person in Shavuos Eidos, he knows testimony for, let's say, 5 people, and he denies it. They say, come be an aid for me. And he says a shvua that I don't know Eidos for you. So if he were to say a shvua, I don't know Eidos for you and you and you and you, right? So according to Rabbi Shimon, right, it's considered one penalty, one violation, one shvuas Eidos that he did wrong. It's a korban shvua. He only brings one korban. Rabbi Shimon says until you say shvua lacha, he has to repeat the word shvua to each of the 5 people in order to be chayav 5 korbanos. It's only according to Rabbi Shimon. According to the Rabbanan, even it says lachav, you'll be chayav 5 korbanos. So our Mishnah, which stresses that he has to say toemes to divide the neder, it follows the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. That's the conclusion of today's shir, short shir. Stay tuned for Iyom with Ben Sion, where I talk about Tokei Dibur Dami.